Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today for DLS Design, and I'm sharing with you this 2-photo layout created using the 4 Seasons kit. So it is released today and to subscribers. So if you subscribe, you can bundle, and so what that means is you can add on to your purchase. And so there are different levels of subscription, so be sure to head over to the website, which I will link you to in the description box down below, to check that out. They do ship internationally, so I definitely recommend checking that out. And you can also bundle your kits if you're international, which is pretty cool too. So I have gutted the 12 by 12 pattern paper and have a white cardstock background on top of that. And then I have these 2 photos. One is of the beer that we were drinking, and then the other is of my husband and I with this fall ale. So 4 Seasons is very much a fall collection, or kit collection. And I am using one of the dies. This is not part of the kit. It is from DLS Design though. And so it is a pocket window basically, or an openable window square. And I've used a bunch of the 3x4 cards, and then one of the, did I use the 4x6? I don't think I did. So I used a bunch of the 3x4 cards to create these pockets or squares for my grid-based layout, because it's Suzanna and Suzanna does grid-based layouts, right? And the idea is that I want to open some of them so that you see both sides of the 3x4 cards, but I also want to keep some of them closed and just tuck little things into them. So that is one of the few cards that has sayings on them in the it's really a pattern paper pack that has a few pocket cards, and they're just sized to 3x4 and 4x6. And so I'm using my scissors as my very elegant distress tool to distress the edges of these to give it just a little bit of oomph. So you can see I backed that pocket with the phrase that says "Hello Autumn." And then I'm going to create, in essence, a grid, an asymmetrical grid around these photos that I have stacked there. If you subscribe, the main kit itself comes with a packet of embellishments. And then if you supersize the kit, as I call it, or the XL kit, you get an additional set of embellishments, but you can also add those on. So I have both sets of embellishments, and I am, obviously, you can see here, digging into both of them. One of the great things about DLS Design embellishment kits is there are over 100 pieces in each of them. Like, there is so much to choose from. And they're smaller in size too, which is perfect for the kind of design work that I do with the grids, and having more variety of options in manageable sizes for both pockets, memory keeping, as well as layouts. So I want to create some texture here, and so rather than doing these folds out flat, I have adhered them in such a way that they pucker intentionally a little bit, but as you can see, it keeps popping up, so I end up resorting to needing to staple them down in order to get that pucker, which I know will flatten out in the album, but I like that dimension for now. And maybe by putting a 3D foam adhesive dot underneath, that might help maintain that, or a strip. Actually, I'm thinking out loud. That's what I'm going to go back and do now, is I'm going to just put a strip behind it that will help maintain that dimension and that pop in there. So you can see I'm opening some of the frames. I'm choosing to back some of them. This one I'm just folding back, kind of like a curtain in a way, and I'm just going to put it directly onto. So this is smooth white cardstock so that I can stamp there, and actually off camera I will stamp the date in the yellowy kind of mustard. Actually, I'm going to use mustard seed. Nope, fossilized amber. Distress ink for that. So again, distressing the edges, and thinking that I thought I wanted to have 3 open, symmetrical, so that you had that visual triangle, but I decided I really like the inside of this, and I don't want to go over the edge there because of where the photo is. There's just something about the design of that it didn't work. So I cut out the door, and then I glue the reverse side in so it looks like it's backed, but it's not, right? Works. So this was one of the ephemera pieces from one of the ephemera packs, and it is also square, so it's perfect. And I will off-camera journal in this particular spot. So a really awesome, fun fall collection, because it's not just your typical sort of earthy tone, orange, yellow, browns. I really like the lavender or lilac or purple colors that are in this collection. They are really hard to match. I mean, lavender, lilac historically has always been really hard to match. But again, because it's a kit, it does match perfectly. So this particular square that I'm working at now, I just am going to pop in this leaf into the opening and then sort of tuck it through there, but actually not open it. So there are two squares where I don't actually open them or do something different to them. And that is basically the foundation of this layout. Now I'm just going to go in and add additional ephemera pieces and embellishments. It doesn't need it, but I do really like all of the texture and color that is in this. So just layering things up. So in this particular pocket here, I'm going to use a saying that says the start of our fall story. I'm going to pop that up, and then off camera, I'm going to take some pink. It almost looks pinky, lilac-y. There is a little bit of pink in this depending on how you look at that really light lilac. And so I have some pink twine. It's a bow that I had tied for some other project that's just sort of sitting in my to be used stash. And so I just plopped that on there. And again, it goes with the texture and the layers that I have built in this layout. So I'm going to add that off camera. Let's see. Some of these pieces just have too much white border for me, and so I just like to trim them down. You can see I did that with the sunflower. I just did that with the purple heart, and I'll do that with a couple of others. So I was hoping that star was going to hold that flap down, but yeah, nope, that didn't work. So again, as I said before, I'm going to go in and use a staple for that. So the kit also comes with, you'll see me go through a bunch of different things. The kit, or depending on what size kit you get, there are two different alphas. One is puffy stickers and the other is this sort of variegated teal that's really cool. I don't end up using either of those, but be sure to come back and check, because I will. They're probably going to end up going in a memory planner spread. There's a really cool outline alpha stamp set as well, so be sure to check that out. I'm excited to use that. In fact, I have a reel planned for that, a process reel on doing a title with that, with some mixed media. I know, unusual for me, right? Mixed media. These are some really cool, just puffy words, and I'm going to use captured at the bottom there. And that is pretty much going to be the bulk of the layout. I'm going to put a few, I know, I'm going to put in a couple of the puffy stickers from that same phrase thing. I'm going to bring it back. I looked at all of these epoxies, but they didn't really color coordinate. I think these colors are really hard to match, and when you have multiple manufacturers making things, it's hard to coordinate, and I'm really picky about that. So yeah, I just ended up using the puffies from the phrases that definitely coordinate. So the close-ups are to follow. If you have any questions about DLS design, please don't hesitate to ask them in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them for you. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you're doing well. Come back again soon. Take care.